Hi everyone. I thought that I would talk to you today about good old Dr. Seuss. He was born March 2nd in Massachusetts to immigrant parents, and his name was Theodore Seuss Geisel. And every year, schools call March 2nd a special day. They call it Read Across America Day in honor of him, and so we're going to talk about him for a few minutes. He was on my mind recently because we were redoing my boys' bedroom. I've got 4 little boys, and then an older boy and 1 older girl. But the 4 little boys were getting 2 sets of bunk beds in the room, so they were all bunking in my room on mattresses on one side of my bed and mattresses on the other side of my bed. And I remember thinking that I felt just like the Go Dog Go book, specifically this picture with all the dogs. So he's been on my mind, and I wanted to talk to you about him for a while. As a child, he loved to draw. He went with his dad often to work. His dad was a zookeeper, and he would draw the animals that he saw there. So that makes a lot of sense if you know of his illustration style. He studied English literature at Dartmouth College. He wrote for the school's humor magazine, and that's when he started using the byline Seuss. He graduated, went to Oxford University, met his wife, went back to the US and began selling his artwork to advertising agencies. He wasn't too happy with that. He tried to become a children's book author and was published. This was his first book that he published in 1937. During World War II, he joined the Army, and they sent him to Hollywood to write scripts. He also animated some cartoons and won 2 Academy Awards. He wrote the book Cat in the Hat as a response to a major national article that was put out about how the American children were not able to read very well, and so he put out a book in response to that. In the article, Hershey had said that the Dick and Jane books were too boring, and so he wanted to create a book that was not boring. The book was asked by the publisher to include the 400 sight words that are used with high frequency in children's books, but he had to cut it down to 250 words, and so he worked on that, and it ended up having 223 words plus 13 more. From that experience, he and his wife began its own division under Random House Publishing called Beginner Books, and you can still see that label today, published on lots of different books, the I Can Read books. Another bet that he did with his publisher was that he couldn't write an entire book using 50 words, and that is how Green Eggs and Ham came about. His books are also known for being controversial because he likes to address social issues, as you know from our required book, The Lorax. That has seen some controversy as well. These are some of the awards he's gotten over the years. He was very honored by fellow authors and also publishers. And here's just a quote about how he was basically an educator. Here's some facts that you might not know about him. He published 46 different storybooks. They've been translated into 20 languages. And To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street was rejected 43 times before a friend finally agreed to publish it. The Lorax was written in 45 minutes, and he never had any children of his own, which is interesting for a children's book author. He died in 1991, and like I said before, a lot of other people who worked with children professionally really respected him. So every year we have Read Across America Day in the month of March, where teachers will read aloud and principals will read, and they'll have book readathons and just celebrating literacy. Hope you enjoyed this presentation.